So today we have an absolute treat for you. This is a drill I have never used on YouTube before. We're going to cover why you're swinging over the top and how you can fix it. Let's get into the video. So I think the first place that is great to start with this is what actually happens in the over the top move. And let's sort of categorize what happens with the body in transition to get this club working over the top. It is literally one of the most common faults so many golfers struggle with. Are you hitting it off to the right, glancing contact, not hitting it as hard and as far as you want? By the end of this video, we'll have you absolutely covered. So what is that over the top move? Well, for most golfers, they'll see this as when they draw a line through their plane here, swinging very much over in this direction. Like this, very much overplaying, very steep, and then most people standing up into impact to make some sort of good contact. We want to have that feeling of where we can get the right shoulder working lower and the club working shallower rather than the right shoulder working over. And I think, and remember that little motion there. So if you're watching this and you've got your note section open on your phone as well, or you're watching on your laptop, write that down. Right shoulder, because as we go through this drill now, you will want to have that as a really good reference. So we've got it out again. If you've got something like this, very easy to set up. I've got an old club shaft, some very expensive tape, not really, and a hula hoop ring. So what we're going to do is we're going to grab the golf club, we're going to put it through so it rests on our lead arm. I've also placed an alignment stick just in the ground here. Now, what this is going to be a reference of is almost like a wall. We're going to want to get quite close to this, and we're going to try and feel as though we can work the hoop around and around without colliding into it. I also see this drill as a really permanent fix to stop coming over the top, because it's a great way to start working this club on plane during the backswing as well. That's what we want, isn't it? A permanent fix, not something that's going to last 2 seconds. We go to the range and it's gone. Now, this week we have some challenges coming up with Chris Hansen. He put me through some Road to the Open challenges. Yeah, and well, be looking to check them out. And it's interesting to hear what he thinks and how he moves through his game. If I summarise it, he was saying that he has feelings. That's why I'm telling you to reference the right shoulder. So we're walking into this now. Get our hula hoop around us, and I want you to get it just where our eyes are over the red alignment stick. Okay, we're already sort of set this club into where we would start here, first parallel on the way through, on the way back, sorry. We've already set that club in here. We're shuffled in close. I want you now to make a backswing, keeping good width through the left arm. Now, what I was saying to you before is over the top move, very much collide into this. Right shoulder works out, no real separation between upper and lower. Okay, so my trigger for you is left hip to target, right shoulder down to start your downswing now. That's a feeling for you. So up, left hip to target, right shoulder down. Now have a look at the difference of our arc here. Where my hands have traced is so different, not out and towards the alignment stick, but feeling as though they work in and closer. So this arc is a great way of understanding plane, so you can get around us, but also what our body does and how does that affect our hand path as well. So if you didn't have this wall or you didn't have anything like this, but just had the ring, if you made some swings every day trying to feel this motion and notice I'm bringing in the lower half as well, look how much better I'm going to be in transition. So we've now seen this from the down the line perspective, and that's sort of where a lot of us will look at our swing 90% of the time. But let's have a look at what looks from the face on perspective. So if I tilt myself around here, and I'm going to imagine I'm hitting it now in this direction, what I was talking about in terms of separation is this. So again, we're into exactly the same setup, over the top move, all working over. Okay, now you can get a real good influence on what the left pocket or left hip and right shoulder down looks like from this perspective. You're going to start to see some separation between lower and upper. So we're in here, move it to the top, left hip, right shoulder. You can really see here how my majority of my body is now working ahead of this alignment stick. I'm not behind it. I've not swayed the whole body ahead of it. I've got a little bit of separation between middle of the pelvis, middle of the chest. This is what we're looking for. More of the body going this side, but still having a little bit behind this line. So if we then translated that into what the golf club would look like in our hand, and this is a really good moment here, because this is for me how you could take it to the golf course now and actually hit some shots away down at the driving range. Simply place an alignment stick in the ground like I have done here, address it to the top, in, as opposed to working over. So look and just frame this impact position here. This is a 7-iron. Look at this, into the left, but separation with upper to lower. I could then move my golf ball this side. If you wanted to imagine hitting the golf balls down the driving range, this is how I would frame it for now. Golf club, width between the ball and the alignment stick. Address it. Move it to the top, move it in. Move it to the top, move it in. And it's funny, if you do enough reps with that ring, you'll start to almost feel like all you're doing is actually focusing on what the ring's doing, or imagining that ring around the golf swing. And my focus then, like I told you right at the start of this video, left hip, right shoulder, left hip, right shoulder. Don't let it collide. Let it work under. So grabbing the golf club now, you can really get a feeling for this, and then we can hit one away. And very soon I will be able to hit one away as well, because golf courses open at the end of this week. I can't wait. I literally can't wait. I've forgotten what it feels like to hit off turf. I'm scared. It's going to look terrible. Every time that I look at a tee shot now, it's going to look terrible. So get in those comments down below. Have you already booked a tee time if you're in the UK? And if you're lucky enough to have been playing, what's the best score that you've shot this year? I think we'd all want to know what that is. We'll all be jealous of you if you have, but get in those comments down below. So just a summary of what we want to have today. Ideally, if you can get yourself a ring and something set up like this, there will be plenty of instruction videos coming up over the season. So it's a good investment into your game, and £3–4, you can get a really good investment into your game. I've got it in here, into his. Keep working the hands inside of it, not out. And you'll notice here, I have to move the lower body to create that space. I have to move the lower body to create that room. I'm keeping my lead wrist flat. Puts me in great positions to start the downswing. And the best thing about it is, it's something that I can feel, something that I can imagine. And another little tip here for you is, if you've got this at home and you've got like a patio door window, bit of reflection on it, make this swing just looking back at the reflection to give you a great insight to what your downswing is looking like. Thanks so much for watching today's video. Don't forget, daily instruction, as well as this week taking on somebody that's played in the Open.